Hotels are meant to be places of rest, places of comfort, celebration, or escape. But some walls absorb more than laughter and conversation. They absorb despair, death, and secrets that defy explanation. Tonight we explore one of the most haunted, most infamous hotels in the world. A place where suicides became routine, where serial killers walked freely, and where one of the internet's strangest mysteries unfolded. Welcome to the Cecil Hotel. This is not just a story about a building. It's a story about human darkness, tragedy, and the unknown. And perhaps the most unsettling part is this: the Cecil Hotel still stands today. Our story begins in 1924 in Los Angeles. The city of angels was booming, glitz, glamour, Hollywood rising. Investors Charles, Dix, and William Banks Hanner dreamed of creating a world-class hotel for traveling businessmen and wealthy elites. They spent the modern equivalent of over $20 million building it, sparing no expense. The Cecil was their jewel: 700 rooms, marble floors, ornate stained glass windows, bronze accents, and a grand lobby fit for royalty. But the hotel was cursed by bad timing. Just 5 years later, the Great Depression struck. Instead of wealthy elites, the area around the Cecil filled with homeless camps, poverty, and crime. What was once a grand hotel for the privileged became a cheap, seedy place for the desperate. Its decline mirrored the decline of its surroundings, and Skid Row was being born. The Cecil's new clientele weren't here for luxury. They came with nowhere else to go. And slowly the hotel began to gather a reputation not of wealth but of death. From the 1930s through the 1960s, the Cecil Hotel became infamous for suicides, so many that locals began to call it the Suicide Hotel. The first known case came in 1931. A man named W.K. Norton checked in under a false name. He was found dead in his room after swallowing poison capsules. Just 1 year later, another guest was discovered with his throat slit. And it didn't stop. A young woman in the 1940s leapt from her 9th floor window, crashing onto the awning below. In 1962, a woman named Pauline Otten jumped from the 9th floor after an argument with her estranged husband. She landed on a pedestrian, George Giannini, instantly killing them both. These weren't isolated incidents. They became patterns: suicides by poison, gunshots, jumps from the upper floors. By the 1960s, the Cecil had dozens of deaths linked to its rooms and corridors. Some believed the hotel itself was cursed, that its walls absorbed despair and magnified it. Others said it was simply a reflection of the misery outside: Skid Row, poverty, addiction, broken lives. Whatever the cause, the Cecil had become more than a building. It was a graveyard stacked vertically, tragedy upon tragedy. As if suicides weren't enough, the Cecil Hotel would soon house true evil. In the mid-1980s, Los Angeles was gripped by terror. A man known as the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, was breaking into homes, murdering men and assaulting women. He left satanic symbols at crime scenes, spreading fear across the city. And where did Ramirez retreat after his nights of horror? To the Cecil Hotel. Living on the top floor, Ramirez reportedly returned after his killings covered in blood. Some accounts suggest he would strip his bloody clothes, walk through the hotel lobby in nothing but underwear, and climb the stairs unnoticed. In the chaos of Skid Row, no one asked questions. No one dared. But Ramirez wasn't the only killer. In 1991, Austrian journalist Jack Unterweger checked into the Cecil while supposedly writing about crime in Los Angeles. He was charming, articulate, and secretly a serial killer. Unterweger strangled at least 3 sex workers during his stay, using their own brass as ligatures. 2 monsters, 2 different eras, both sheltered by the same hotel. What are the odds? To many, this was proof the Cecil wasn't just unlucky. It was a magnet for darkness. And then came the case that turned the Cecil Hotel into a global obsession. In January 2013, 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam checked into the hotel during her solo trip across California. She kept in touch with her family daily, calling or emailing them. But by early February, she went silent. On February 19th, after weeks of searching, her body was found floating inside a rooftop water tank. For nearly 3 weeks, hotel guests had been drinking, cooking, and bathing with water contaminated by her decomposing body. But what made Elisa's case infamous wasn't just her death. It was the surveillance footage. Released by police, the video shows Elisa in an elevator. She presses multiple buttons. She peeks out, jumps back in, presses herself against the wall as if hiding from someone or something. She gestures with her hands in strange, unnatural movements. Then suddenly she's gone. The doors close and Elisa Lam was never seen alive again. The internet exploded with theories. Was Elisa being stalked? Was someone following her? Some claimed she was playing a supernatural game known as the elevator game, a ritual said to open doors to another dimension. Others believed she was possessed by the spirits of the Cecil. The official cause of death was ruled accidental drowning, complicated by her bipolar disorder and lack of medication. But not everyone was convinced. How did she access the locked rooftop? Why didn't alarms go off? How could she get into the heavy water tank alone? Even today, Elisa Lam's death remains one of the most chilling mysteries tied to the hotel. With so many deaths and horrors under its roof, it's no wonder the Cecil is considered haunted. Guests report footsteps echoing in empty halls, phones ringing in unused rooms, shadows moving across the walls when no one's there. Some even claim to see ghostly figures at their bedside. Paranormal investigators have flocked to the hotel, calling it one of the darkest hotspots of supernatural energy in America. The Cecil's reputation has also bled into pop culture. The 5th season of American Horror Story Hotel was directly inspired by the Cecil and Ramirez's stay there. Netflix's Crime Scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel reignited public fascination with Elisa Lam's story. Even urban explorers and ghost hunters risk trespassing just to glimpse the cursed building. But whether haunted or not, the Cecil has secured its place in history as a monument to death, crime, and mystery. The Cecil Hotel is nearly 100 years old. In that time, it has witnessed suicides, murders, mysteries, and horrors most hotels never will. Some believe it's cursed. Others see it as simply a victim of circumstance, a building at the center of poverty, crime, and despair. But maybe it's something deeper. Maybe certain places carry the energy of what happens within them. Maybe the Cecil is not haunted by ghosts, but by history itself. So I'll ask you, would you dare spend a night inside the Cecil Hotel? Because some who checked in never checked out.